Thank you so much. So I'm Daniela, and I'm going to present with my colleague Ricardo, Breaking Barriers, Participatory AI Development for Inclusive Employment Access. And first of all, I would love to start with a question, and I would like to read you on the comments. If Have you ever felt discriminating against in a interview? Personally, I haven't felt discriminated directly, but I have worked in a companies that have implicit policies that that we need to hire people for say certain universities, demographics. And also I used to work at a company which has a policy just to hire good looking people. Crazy world, right? So I would love to read you in the comments if you have experienced something like that. So, according to the OECD, the workforce has become increasingly diverse, improving the integration of female, migrant, older workers. Amongst other groups, many individuals belonging to various minority groups still face considerable discrimination. And this is a really sad fact. Overall, there has no change in the rate of hiring discrimination in the last 25 years. This is despite anti-discrimination legislations that we have seen in the last years, changing attitudes and diversity policies. So this is not a good fact. Applicants of colors have sent about 50% more applications than white applicants to get a response. This means that if a white applicant needs to send 20 applications to get an interview, an applicant of color will need to send 30. Discrimination against applicants from Middle East and North Africa has increased in the last two decades. This may be due to increased bias after terrorist attacks such as 9/11. And good news, France is the only country that has shown a significant decrease in hiring discrimination. In the Netherlands, there has been an upward trend in hiring discrimination. This may be related to growth of right-wing politics and anti-immigrant sentiment. Policies that require employers to make public the ethnicity and the race of the people they hire can help to reduce discrimination. These policies can encourage transparency and accountability.
Hi, how are you? I hope you are doing well. So can you please press one more time the slide? One more time, please. Well, in this study, we focus solely on gender bias. We are fully aware, of course, that other biases exist, but we choose to address one aspect of the problem step by step. As we in the chat have seen and in the other panels, these biases are learned from human-generated data used to train LLMs. That is common sense, but I don't know, common sense is not common. So we are presenting, we present to the LLMs as stereotypically associated with common and meant to measure these biases. The distribution should be normal, right? Well, it's not. we all know that this is not normal, this distribution. So can you please take the next one? We present this metric taken from Bora and Michalix, which this is the most standard one we could find, keeping this in things simple and but most interpretable. So how we measure this, where here are the equations, but BN is the number of assignments with neutral no bias. BA is the number of anti-stereotypical assignments, and BS is the number of the stereotypical assignments. Then we only compute the total number of assignments and the average biases of all the scenarios across the datasets and compute the following metric for that. And this is a metric well known, and as I was telling you, we found that this is the most interpretable and easy to achieve. Can you please take the next one? This is an example of how roles are, we use the roles to give to the LLM and measure with the metric that we all have already presented to you. And this is an example to measure it and using these two strategies. what these two strategies are: so supervised fine-tuning using QLoRa and self-reflections, both separately and combined. We believe, and we are going to show you in our conclusions, that could be maybe replaced by some kind of techniques like distillations or so on. So, but we want to present you the kind of scenario that we were testing on. Can you please take the other one? And the other one. So these results are consistent with literature. With all kinds of literature we can show, there are this kind of feeling that multi-agents interactions increase these biases, and LLM's strong implicit biases in the task assignment with the score of 0.5. 0 is the ideal world, but we know that that is not possible at all. So this is the best that we have. We believe that this is related to the latent space of the LLM. So, but we are not sure. We believe that we can discover more this in the recent paper of Anthropic. I don't know if you are related with this paper that is put some lights on interpretation of GPT approach other than reasoners models. Can you please take the next one? Well, as you probably know, we believe that we will, with the new paradigm of reasoning models, maybe these studies are taking too slow because AI is crazy accelerating. So these results are maybe too old. But in the fact that we do this in October, so it's kind of funny. But as you probably we believe that these new paradigms and reasoning models can evaluate not only the output, as I was reading in the chat, that have not to focus it only on the output, but also in the chain of thought that lead to that result. We believe that could lead to a more satisfactory results. Moreover, we want to explore different approaches, as we were telling you about. We are trying new methods that the stealing model are better than QLoRa approach. And something that we are finding in most research paper is that reasoning models paradigms not necessarily hold for less biases. That the graph and the table on the right, this is not from us. Those are from the papers that we put on the sites. But we showed that not necessarily a smarter model is less biased. It can even increase those bias. So it's a very interesting topic. So if anyone knows something, we can collaborate. So please let us know, and we will be very happy to collaborate with you. Can you please make the next one? We know that we are a little short of time, but we want to know that in this development phase, we mount this model on a Hugging Face server, and we want to show these results only we observe the bias-free avatar where candidates has given us feedback about how they feel about more confident knowing that this interview that we developed to train the participants for the next interview is bias-free. So we also train them for interviews in this manner, but it's kind of funny, but because we know that there we will face a more pressure because others have already told us that prefer a real persons because we are introducing more biased models against system designing to eliminate bias. So it's kind of a paradox, but can you show us more of the, can you show them a little demo?
Sure. What are the metrics that you are using to mitigate bias in gender interviews?
I believe that we have to share the audio. We have not the audio for the demo, but I know that we know that we are short of time. But if you,
Ricardo, maybe is it possible to share if you can share the link in the chat?
Yes,
others can follow up, and because we're as you mentioned, a little bit short on
Yeah.
time. Thank you
Yes.
for that